My people, I'm going to try to talk fast here because I know time is of an essence and nobody has time to listen to these long videos. But this is an important video. I want to let you into the plans of why we established the network and what's the plans in the future, my people. Today I had a conversation with a friend of mine that knows what I'm about, knows what I was doing, but he didn't know the entirety of the whole plan. And when I broke it down to him, he was sold on the vision. So my plan for this video is to sell you guys on the vision, because you might be like that guy saying, okay, I see that there's a network, and what's this all network all about? Well, I'm going to tell you what this is all about. So my peoples, listen, I came to this space about 5 years ago, into the Christian hip hop space. Helping out a friend, Monster Tarver. Everybody, most people know him up in here. I did a video for him. He asked me to do a video. Never in my life wanted to do a video, or wasn't a desire of mine. I used to make videos at a gym that I used to manage. Highlight reel type videos. I made one for Monster. He saw it. He liked it. He asked me to do a video for him. We did one video. That first video got hooked up with Rapzilla. Rapzilla saw it for whatever reason. They highlighted it or whatever. And so that gave us the motivation to do more. And so me and Monster, when we started, we probably did about 7 or 8 videos within a short period of time, month, 2 month time frame. After we did the videos, then I met Jon Sigler, my partner on all this, okay? That also created the network. We came up with the idea about the network, my peeps. So when I met Jon, tremendous talent. I saw his talent right away because I already had done the videos. I knew how to make music videos. I asked him if he wanted to make them. He said yes. We were all in. So me and Jon started working together. Before you know it, to make a long story short, my peoples, because of the work that I had done with Monster and Jon, the word started getting around out here in Tampa. And so over a 2-year span, to make a long story short, over a 2-year span, I've worked with over 35 artists here in Tampa and in Texas and in other places. And I did over 100 music videos over a 2-year span. One thing that I saw as I was in this space and working with all these amazing artists, and because some of them are right now you would know them, like a Zika. I worked with a Zika when a Zika was just starting off, or he was already doing music, but nobody really knew him like that. And Monster Tarver, Jon Sigler, Tank McCoy. There's so many of them that were just seasoned veterans, and we worked together for a while. One thing, the common thread that I saw, and it's one of the main reasons that we created this, is because I saw a lack of funding being a problem with every single artist that I talked to. I don't know any artist that is doing okay financially. And what does that do? The weight of being hurt financially, my peoples, weighs on you where it demotivates you at times. So even though you want to do your craft and your music and to bring more, save more souls and to get out there, get your message out there so you can bring more people to Christ, because of the financial strain on most people, it wouldn't allow them to do certain music because they have to buy the beats. They couldn't buy them, so I got to wait now 2 months to buy a beat. They couldn't go to certain shows because, you got to drive to these shows. And, listen, dude, I can't go to this one because I can't, I don't have the money to go with. It's ongoing problems because of the weight of financial gain. There's no financial gain. So it's hard to do all this music and spend all this money and invest all this time and energy and focus and money and not get any reward back. It demotivates you. So I saw that, right? And me coming from the business world, I want to put a stop to that. I want to see my brothers and sisters. I don't care if you want to be rich or wherever you want to take because that's up to the individual. But my thing is that I don't want to see my people living paycheck to paycheck, figuring out how they're going to do their craft. I want for 100, 1,000 of us, 2,000 of us to come up with a system here, like we're doing here with the network, that we're all financially good. What does that mean? That's individual. But for you, financially good might be making $70,000 a year, $50,000 a year, $100,000 a year. For most of us, if we're making $100,000 a year, we're doing lovely, doing our craft. That has the potential. What we're doing here has the potential that all of us are making that kind of money in the future. Living, again, comfortable. Not only living comfortable for ourselves, but when you have that financial strain off your back, now your family's going to benefit. Your church is going to benefit. When you do events, there's no longer a worry if they're going to pay me or not, because you're making your money through other means. So now, because you're making your money through other means, now it's okay at that church because you believe in that church or that event. You'll even fly up to the event because the strain of the financial strain is not on your back. That's what I want for each and every one of you guys. That's my motivation for here. All right. Besides the fact that, one of my motivations, another part of my motivation is that I believe in Christian hip hop so much because I believe that this is where the talent's at. that I know the effect that music has on people, especially our kids. Has it in everybody, but especially our kids. The secular world is what they're feeding our kids is nonsense. I mean, y'all, I don't have to go too far. Doja Cat and her video with the demons and all that. Y'all already know what I'm saying about. So what they're feeding them is nonsense. Christian hip hop is, to me, the original hip hop, because I saw it. I saw the original. I'm 47 years old, my peoples. I was around when hip hop first started. When MC Light and you could even go further back. I'm losing names for the guys right now, but all the original guys that were doing rap in the beginning. Because the Tupac and the Biggies and the Rakims and all that. Even Rakim was an old guy, one of the beginning. But they were already like second wave. I was around when the first wave. I forgot the names of the groups, my people. Forgive me for the names. But I saw hip-hop from the inception. I know what hip-hop was all about in the beginning. It was about telling stories about your community, about things that were happening in the world. Not all this crap where you're seeing now artists literally wearing demonic horns and coming out looking like the devil and wearing dresses and wearing and having purses and they're dudes and whatever. You get where I'm going. Female rappers talking about taking it here and taking it there and I like it here and all the nonsense that they're feeding our kids. I want to make Christian hip hop so popular that not only the Christian kids at the Christian schools are listening to it, which they're not, my peoples. My kids go to Christian school, and when I've asked them years ago, this is why this thought process came to mind. When I had a dinner over here with my kid and their friends, I asked them, "Who do you know? Do you know this guy? Do you know that guy?" And I was talking about the big guys like Dayton and Bizzle and Seven. They didn't know any of these guys. These are kids that go to Christian school, but they knew Lecrae. That's all they knew. And they know all the other secular artists. They know all those guys, but they don't know Christian hip hop artists. So at that point, I said to myself, we have a marketing problem. Because the Christian hip-hop is where the talent's at. It's where the real messaging is at. How can I get this music into the kids' ears? I want to make Christian hip-hop so popular that it's in the secular kids' ears. Not only in the Christian hip-hop school or the Christian schools, but in the Christian in the secular schools. Because this is where the talent is at, my peoples. Y'all know it. I don't have to. I'm not telling you anything that y'all don't know. Y'all know Christian hip-hop. There's all kinds of amazing talent in here. Even in this network, almost, I would say 90% of y'all. To be honest, 90% of y'all are seasoned veterans in your craft. Y'all put in the time. Some of y'all are still working on your craft, but you'll get there. It's like anything. But I know the influence that music has on kids and adults, both of them alike. And I want to hear this type of music in their ears because I know the power, just like the devil knows the power of music. And he knows how to influence our kids through the music. I want to influence our kids through your music. And that's one of the other reasons that I do this. All right, so these are my motivations. Now, I'm a young cat when it comes to my walk with God. Now, I found God 15 years ago. Because I went on a journey, but I found him in a different way. I found him through really studying the devil, my peoples. I studied the devil for years. I studied the Illuminati, I went down all those rabbit holes. And when you go down those rabbit holes, what comes out when you come out of those rabbit holes is that you realize that the devil does exist. And if you go deep enough, you learn the devil's schemes and how he manipulates our people. What systems that he's created over time. Over God knows how many hundreds or even thousands of years. Like the music industry, the entertainment industry. He controls all of media. He controls all of the newspapers. He controls the radio stations. Everything that you listen to, hear, and read, 90% is owned by 6 corporations. Those 6 corporations are... Again, they're not anything good. I'll tell you that right now. So once I figured out all these systems, I became an enemy of the devil. I wanted to work for God. That's how I came in there. That's why I truly believe that I am a soldier for God. But I'm still young in my walk because I'm not in the Word like most of you guys. That's why I say I leave that to you guys. God is calling me. Believe me, I'm being discipled right now by One Body Church here in Tampa because I feel like God is calling me to be a better leader. I have to get into His Word. I got to know the knowledge of His Word, so that it can be free from my lips. Because that's what it takes to become a leader in any organization. And how can you be a leader in the Christian hip-hop space and not really know God's Word? Come on now. So I'm working on it, but I'm not there yet. I leave that up to you guys. My job, I see it as to figure out ways, my peeps, that we can all be living financially well based on our craft. Because I want nothing more than 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 of us strong. Financially strong, so that imagine when we unite 2,000, 10,000 financially strong artists and producers and songwriters and poets and authors, and all of that. What can we do? What can we do? This is how the devil is strong. And even though he's small in numbers, because his minions are small, right? There's only certain labels and certain artists that are making it. But he's financially strong. He can blow up these people. That's what I'm trying to do here. We're literally in the arena combating the devil himself. That's what I feel like I'm here. And one of my ways is to figure out ways to be financially steady, my people. So don't get it twisted when all you hear me is talk about money and numbers and all that. That's not all I talk about. Believe me, if you have a conversation with me, you'll hear me talk about how I want to defeat this devil. But it's because I come from that financial side. And I guess because I've always thought business like. I have that's my gift. That's not my gift wasn't rapping or producing or singing or poetry or none of that. I could probably do it if I practice it, but that's not my gift. My gift is numbers, strategizing. That's what I love to do. That's what I feel like I'm here doing. So I told you my motivations of why I'm here, my peeps. It's to see us grow together. This is why we created this network. Now let me tell you how we're going to benefit from this network, my peeps, so you can get the vision. And I'm sorry to make this long. I'm 11 minutes in, but this is an important video that I believe needs addressing. All right, so in the short term, my peoples, this is what I have planned. So imagine, my peeps, this is why I harp on the links. Eventually, we're going to get a newer bot, a more professional bot, a faster bot that does what we want it to do. You still have to like and comment on people's posts, but it's faster, right? It's an easier process to do. Which there's networks already out there that are doing it. We got the screenshots for those bots. We're going to create bots similar to that, if not even better. But imagine when these links start moving, my peeps. When you go from having 40, 50, 60 likes or 100 likes or 200 likes and comments to the person that had 200 likes and comments goes to 1,000. And the guy who has 40 and 50 goes to 200, 300, 400. In the beginning, what is that not going to do for everybody? That's what I keep telling you guys. A lot of us get wrapped up with the labels, that we need a label because we think that we need 1 million followers. No, my peoples. If you had 50 to 100,000 loyal followers, you could make a nice, comfortable living doing what you love to do. And bringing people to Christ, which is the most important reason why we're here. We're trying to save souls, right? That's truly why I'm doing it, my peeps. Because it's not about the money with me. Even though I talk a lot about money, people who know me know that it's not about the money with me. I've invested a lot of money of my own cash and my own sweat equity, years, in getting no return on my investment just because I believe in this so much. The people who know me, they know this. The celebration of life that we just brought here to Tampa recently, which we created through this network here. I invested money. The celebration of life wasn't free. It wasn't free, my people. Melvin Negron had to throw his money in there, and I had to throw my money in there. And I don't want to even tell you how much it was, but nothing is free. Somebody has to pay for it, but we had to pay for it. So again, this is why I feel so adamantly about getting this financial strain off of our back. So what are we going to do with this money? Now, what money are we talking about? Once these links start moving, my peeps, I already told every single one that's in here right now that came in while it was free. It will be free for a lifetime, my peoples. All right? This network will always be free for you. But for anybody, once these links start moving, for anybody who comes afterwards, $20 a month to join this network. Now, what are they going to get for joining this network? For one thing, they're collaborating with some of the most amazing artists in the country, right? So you have the ability with collaborating with artists, with producers. If you have an album coming out, you can collaborate with all kinds of podcasts that could potentially do interviews on your show or whatever you're selling, your book, whatever you're doing. So we're collaborating with all kinds of amazing people that you would never be able to collaborate before, because if you leave them a message on the DM, they might not even answer you. You get that benefit. But not only that, you get the benefit of when you put a link through this system, your links start blowing up. In the beginning, it's 200-300, right? Because once we get 200-300, now it's twofold. Now you're getting the collaborations and your links are moving. At that point, we charge $20. As we continue to build and build and build, eventually the links will move to 500, 1,000, 10,000, which Jon has used certain networks, or one particular network that he's used for Business World. You pay $300 a month to use that one. You can put a link inside that network, and every time you put a link in there, it gives you 10 to 15,000 likes and comments. Of course, it increases social media at the same time. But that to get into that network, you got to pay $300 a month. Here, it's a no-brainer. Not only do you get to increase your social media, which that's the only thing that one gives you, but you get to network with all kinds of amazing artists, producers, songwriters, podcasters, the works, my peoples, and international. We got people from Africa here. We got people from the UK here. So you can eventually, as you branch out, you can work with guys from Africa, get a bigger fan base from other places that you might not even thought you could get. That's the benefit of this. So $20 is a no freaking brainer for those people to come in here and do that. So imagine now $20 a month, and you got $1,000 in here paying $20 a month. That's $20,000 a month, my peoples. Now I know that's supposed to be to us, right? Because it's JC and Jon that created it, and of course the money's gonna go to the network, but it's the people who created it. Before I get into that, let's move it on. Let's say you get 10,000 people in here, which should be a no freaking brainer. There's already groups that have 40 and 50 and 60,000 people in here. Let's say you get 10,000 people paying $20 a month. That's $200,000 a month, my people. Now let's break out that money, because a lot of y'all are saying, that's great, JC. That's $200,000 for you and Jon. That's amazing. I'm happy for you guys. No, my peoples. Listen, I want to break this up into 3 sections of the money. Of course, Jon and I created this, and we've spent our money and our time to get everybody in here. You have no idea how much time and effort it takes me to bring people in here to get this thing going. So, of course, we plan to make a return of an investment. So, but I want to live with a certain amount of that, a third of it, if that. Because if you're making $100,000 a month, my people, I don't need to make $50,000 a month to survive me and Jon. We can live with less than that. But just without getting into the numbers, into all the particular percentages and all that, forget about all that. Let's just say 3 sections. So a section for me and Jon, because again, we're the creators. I'm just being totally transparent. I'm not telling you that I don't want no money. I'm here to make money too. A section of that we're gonna use for a certain amount of funds that we're gonna create. Now check this out. We're going to create an emergency fund. Emergency fund for the network. What does that mean? You know, in your life, if you don't have an emergency fund, you should start creating something like this in your own personal bank account, in your own personal life. Like I always have to have $1,000 to $2,000 in my emergency fund. What is that? If my car breaks down, if my flat tire, if I get a bill that I wasn't expecting, if something happens that I need, my engine blows, I got an emergency fund. I don't have to go into my credit cards. I don't have to ask my family for money. I have it. So you build it slowly. You build it with $40, $50 a month, and then before you know it, over a certain amount of time, you got it in there. Now, we want to build an emergency fund for the network. Where does that emergency fund come in? For one thing, there might be somebody in here that gets a sickness. There might be somebody in here that some family member passes away, a close family member. Now we have an ability to go fly and support our people. Not only go and fly and support our people, but maybe even help them out with their funeral costs. You get what I'm saying? Any type of emergency, we'll have a fund for that. We'll imagine $100,000 a month, my peoples. How fast can we not build a fund with $50,000? You think about it, right? And again, things happen in life that we can now have the funds. We don't have to worry about, a friend of mine's father passed away. Somebody in the network, something happens here. We have an ability to help them out. Not only that, somebody could lose their job in here, and now they need they need 2 or 3 months of assistance to get by until they get back on their feet. We'll have that emergency fund for all of that. That's one of my many ideas that I want to create here. What's another one? A work fund. I call it the work fund. We can give it another name or whatever. But a fund for flights, my peoples. A lot of times we're putting these events, but we're trying to bring people. But of course, everybody's limited with their funds because they don't have money for flights. Imagine having a fund that if you create an event and you want to fly 3, 4, 5 people from all over the country, we have the capital now to fly them in and not have to worry about it. Not only that, to put them in an Airbnb. Not only that, to feed them while they're there. All right? So imagine having a capital for all these things. For videos, let's say you come into the network. Okay, for one thing, we're going to have an in-house producers. This is one of the things that I want to have inside the network. In-house producers. Maybe get 4 or 5 of the best top producers that we can get, which they're already probably in here because we have so many great producers in here. And they put out beats. And we have in-house where we either pay them for their beats and we have them already there, ready for the people. Because maybe we can use all the producers, and depending on the beats that people like, all the producers here give us a price for their beat, and then we'll have the cash in hand that we can pay for these beats. So when you come in and you pay your $20 a month, you got a library of beats. You pick out a beat you like, boom, it's already paid for through your membership because we have the fund that we've already paid the producer. Y'all get what I'm going with? That's one of another thing we're gonna have. I want to have a fund for that because. For music videos, we don't need to have in-house anything because people are all over the freaking country, but we can subcontract that out. So maybe you want to do a music video with 2 people, 3 people collaborate in this network, and y'all want to do a music video together. We'll have the funds to get the music video done. We pay it on hand. Y'all get where I'm going. To do things, to put on events, bigger events. Imagine now having a fund for marketing. So now when you do your fund, when Natalia from Talents for Christ does an event, we got money to put out for the marketing. So now the event has not only 100 or 200 people, because she does amazing events that bring in people, but now we have 500, 1,000 people going to these events. How many more lives are we not going to touch? When Grace in Miami that does events as well, when she has an event, when we do events, now we have marketing dollars, money for flights, money so we can do things right, my people, just like in the regular industry. This is my goal. This is my short and medium to long-term goals. Here's one, my peoples. A give back fund. The give back fund is, here's one way we can give back to the community. Imagine doing an event at a church, and you go to you go to the event, but not only do you go to the event for free because we don't need the money, we're making money through other means. Not only do you go to the event for free and you have the cash to get the airfare and you have the cash to get the Airbnb and to do it right, but now we also bring 3-4 U-Hauls of trucks with furniture, with food, with clothing, with bikes, which I've seen a lot, like the Hogmog guys. They're doing this tremendously amazing. They've done this where they bring brand new bikes, furniture, food, and so when they pack up on one of these events, they pack them in. I mean, there was a Dante was walking as they were doing one of their events, and literally he walked about 5 blocks and stopped, and he just showed you how it continued on because of so many people coming. But why? Because they're giving back to the community. Imagine having a fun to do that, my peoples. These are some of the many things that I want to do with the cash. Let's go to some long-term ideas. Having a fund to create, like again, Hog Mob has done this. They have houses where they have people with addictions. They come in and they have a state-of-the-art house where they have vocational training, because a lot of these addicts, they've committed crimes. So now, even if you help them get off the drugs, if they can't find a good job, my people, they're gonna go back into the depression and go back into their crap. So imagine creating homes all over the country where we can not only put people that are in need, that have drug problems, and help them out with the counseling and the discipleship of the word and all that, but also give them vocational training so that they can learn a craft. They can go out and make some money in the world. Now that's going to build these guys up and girls up. They're going to want to do things. Imagine having that. Helping out the homeless. Imagine having homes where we can help out the homeless. And again, by discipleship, that they got to give back as well. We can create all kinds of things where they give back into the home, but now we get them off the streets. We get them off the drugs. There's a lot of people that are in the streets because they just lost their job and they don't have any family members to help them out. But if they had a little bit of help, they can get off the streets, my peoples. Maybe they don't have the training. We give them the vocational training because they might not have a drug problem. We can build homes for that. This is my long-term thinking, my peoples. And of course, we keep investing, because with this money, we can invest it into buying the properties, buying the locations, and now that money just grows. It sits there and grows. So we can create something massive here, my peeps. Massive. Of course, having a marketing fund. Crucial. So now taking it to a step further. Now when we do events, not only do we do a little event with 50 people and a couple of lighting where the sound is terrible and this and that. No, we put on massive events. Think Reach Records. Think KB. When they put on those events, they put on the lighting. They got the sound. They do it big. I want to do those type of events where we're doing it big and having the marketing dollars behind it so people are coming to these events. Because again, it's just more people getting reached. I want this music in the people's ears, my peoples. This is where the talent's at. This is where the right messaging is at. So this is what I want. This is my motivation behind all this. And here's another one. I'm gonna leave it with this because it's 25 minutes in, my peeps. So who has time for this? Here's another one of my ideas, which all of you guys can share your ideas and bring them in, and let's this is a network. Let's talk. Imagine having, we buy like warehouse type buildings, or we can buy, it doesn't even matter though, but just think about warehouse. Think about a warehouse type building in every major city where we split up the warehouse in different sections, where parts of the warehouse, we make it into like a living quarters. Parts of the warehouse, we make it into like a production studios, maybe 2 or 3 production studios. Part of the warehouse into a podcast studio. Part of the warehouse into photography, like different rooms. They have this in the malls here in Tampa. I don't know if they have this where you're from. but where they have rooms where they literally split up rooms and they make them into themes. So for videographers and photographers can go in there and they pay a certain rentally a charge for so many hours and they can go do their thing. So imagine having a warehouse building with all these facilities where you have living quarters, where you have a producing, where you have a camera, where you can themed out rooms where you can do cameras and video work. So now when you want to, imagine we had one here, one in Tampa, one in Chicago, one in Minnesota, one in Texas, or a couple in Texas, you get what I'm saying? And now when you wanted to work with somebody, we got the funds to fly people in and out. So now you wanted to work with somebody that's in Chicago. They fly into the warehouse. They have a place to stay. Now you have the production. All it is the network and figure out the producers that are in your area. They got a place, a professional studio to go and record and do their sound. Then you could also have the camera guy go in there and do the videos and the photos. Y'all get what I'm saying, my peoples. Listen, we got a lot of big plans. I hope you guys can see a little taste of the vision of what we got coming up here. And now for you guys, how does it benefit for you? Let me leave this lastly because I haven't really talked about you guys. As our social media platforms grow, my peoples, you already know that if your followers grow, right now on average, everybody in here has between 5,000 and 10,000 followers. On average. Some of us have less, some of us have a little bit more. So imagine as your followership grows to 50,000, to 60,000, to 100,000. What is that not going to do every time you have a song that you're releasing, a beat that you're releasing, a book that you're selling, a merch reveal, events that you're going to? What is that not going to do for every single aspect of your business? It's going to grow everything. This is why I say it's making a comfortable living doing our passions. So, again, my peeps, not only that, let me leave you with this. There's other ways to make money even in the network. And I'll say this one as well because, again, I want to hit as much as everything that I got. I have other ideas, but those are bigger and those are in other times. But here's another way to make money for everybody in here in this network. Eventually, everybody will become a recruiter in here. So let's say it's $20 a month, but the first month is you got to pay $80, $100. Let's say 70% of it goes to the person who brought them in. So let's say we charge $100 the first month, $20 a month after that. $70 goes to you. Let's say $80 goes to the person who brought them in. You bring 5 people a week, that's $450, my people. That's one way to make money. Now imagine you have a network that every time you put a link, it grows to $10,000, $15,000. $15,000. 15,000 likes and comments and views. People already pay other channels because they have a big following to put their video on their thing. So imagine if you tell people that don't want to, let's say they don't want to join the network, but you have friends that are coming out with a video. Imagine you tell them, hey, let me grab your video and put it on the network. Give me $50, give me $100, whatever you think whatever you can get. So you can literally make, just on the network alone, as we building this, anywhere from $400 to $1,000 a week if you're working it. Not to mention everything else that's going to grow with what you're doing, because you're selling books, you're doing merch. A lot of you are producers. You can do courses on how to mix and master. You might have a niche on what you're doing producing. You might have a niche on videography because you do something different than everybody else. You can create a course on it and then sell it in the network. Y'all get what I'm saying, my peeps. There's a lot of ways to make cash here, doing what we love, doing our passion, living the life that I believe our Father wants us to live, as we support our family, as we support our friends, as we support our church, as we support our people, and at the same time using our craft to bring more people to Christ. My peoples, I'm going to leave it there. 30 minutes in. I love you. God bless you. I hope you see the vision. If you do see the vision, man, listen, you already know what's going on. We just need people to work it. Bring your people in here. The more people we get in here faster, the better. We're gonna create a system for challenges here pretty soon, where we're bringing in some cash so that we can get these better bots and get the better system on how we're gonna do this. Because I believe strongly, if we get a better bot, a faster bot, an easier bot, people will start working the links, and at that point, it's all over with, my peoples. I said enough. Oh yeah, God bless you guys. Let me know what y'all think on the video, man. Let me know what you think. Am I talking too much crap? Is the vision not clear? Is it clear? Did you learn anything from this? I have no idea. Let me know what y'all think. I love you guys. Sorry for the long video, but I had to make it. Because people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And a lot of y'all don't really know me like that. So now at least you can see where I'm coming from. And eventually in time, we'll build that trust and relationship. God bless you.